Hello, good evening, good morning, twerps and squirts. It's your favorite undiagnosed broadcaster. I'm here with a riveting hot hour of yap. It is another episode of The Company Lot. By the way, if you don't know what The Company Lot is, it's a show I do here on this channel every 2 weeks. You can also get it on any podcast feed. You can listen to this in your car, if that's your thing. So you can always get that there, Spotify, Apple, wherever. But before I start today's episode, I want to ask you something. Do you notice that I'm brighter and beautiful today? Do you see that in my skin? Can you see that? It's because I rubbed my face thick and full of cockroach, affectionately referred to in the skincare market as La Roche-Posay. Now, some of you would say this is an old joke. And it is. It's a joke we all make if you use the cockroach to keep your skin looking bright and beautiful. Some of you now may be freaking out because you like to do that. You're anxiously driven in your life. And you go, Noel, the Roche company recalled some of their products because they have cancer in it. And I know. That's why I'm glowing. You think I'm glowing from natural components? I'm glowing because there are cancerous agents in my face currently. That's why I look bright, yellow, and beautiful. And the yellow part is not a race thing. Guys, today's episode, we have so many fun things to talk about. You can't afford Coachella. Girls going into space. Ugh. It's actually one of my favorite topics, women in space. And then, just a myriad of other things. So let's quit messing about here. Let's quit cockroach footing about here. Let's get into it. Welcome to another fun episode of The Company Lot. You always need a little coffee before you talk about the impending economic collapse of our society. No, we won't get into that today. We'll just do the fun part, which is everyone below the age of 25 is on buy now, pay later. And more interestingly, 60% of Coachella goers, I learned this factoid. I think all of us learned this factoid this week because it's a sticky headline. What is it? 60% of Coachella buyers are doing it on finance. Let me get the exact wording for that. I know I've been doing a lot of joking around here at the beginning here, folks, but let me pause and say I will be in Irvine next week. I always think of Paulo Francisco. Irvine. I'll be in Irvine running a brand new hour. So come see me, noelmillerlive.com. Go buy a ticket. I'm really excited about this material. It's starting to feel good. I hit a pocket there. And by the way, if you came out to see me in Australia, thank you. Had so much fun. It was a great time. But anyways, let's begin the Yaponomics. But I think this fits well because I had just read an article about a lot of Gen Z are on buy now, pay later, which is, I'm not critical of at all. I lived through almost my entire 20s, 7 of my 10 years in my 20s in crippling debt. I've talked about it often, but I reference it because it was a character shaping moment. And honestly, it feels fucking good to hang up on a debt collector. You feel powerful. When they're sitting there and they're acting all like it's their money. How are you going to pay this back? I don't know, dude. I don't know. That's why I owe it in the first place. I made a big mistake, stupid. And it's really funny, these hall monitors of money. You need to pay it back. Okay. I know that, stupid. I can't buy anything because everything I'm earning needs to go to someone else. So, if you're on and by the way, everyone rich is in debt. Everyone rich is someone else's money. So you're just doing what everybody else does. So if you're doing shit on on debt. I have no judgment. I support it. It creates a lot of anxiety, but so does coffee. Drink coffee and blame that for the anxiety and just kind of forget your debts. And honestly, while we're at it, here are a couple ways you can kind of just kind of troll your debt collector. They call you and they give you the spiel, hey, I'm such and such calling on behalf of Wells Fargo. As soon as they say that, go, hey, buddy. They go, I'm sorry. And you're like, hey, bud, was just waiting for you. Yeah, I cleared my schedule today because, I don't really have much going on. And I was waiting for you to call. How much do I owe? And then when they start to get into the numbers, you go, whoa, that's a big number. And then you get on their case a little bit further. You're like, I'm surprised you can count that high. Start to insult them a little bit. And they go, what the fuck do you mean? It's like, well, I'm surprised just judging by your voice. I didn't think you get past 100 if we're being honest. And they go, all right, and then they start getting angry and they go, this is about you. And it's like, I know it's about me, but we can learn a little bit about you too right now. That's a big number you just counted to. And then you troll them a little bit more. You go, all right, so I owe this much. My card is shut down. You want this money from me. That's fine. But let's say I want to add a little bit more to the pile. Let's say I don't think this is enough of a challenge for me. That's when you start to really get under their skin. You're like, honestly, this number, 20,000, what is it? Kind of light. If I'm being honest, I haven't paid it because it's too easy. I could pay it whenever I want. Is there any way we could get this number up and make it more exciting for me? Because owing $20,000, everyone owes $20,000. I mean, that's not even a car. What can we do to get this number higher? That's the problem, debt collector, is the number is too low. I'm not motivated enough to pay it back. I'm not scared enough. Because it's not like a house where you can take it from me. You're just calling me being like, give it back. Shut up. Anyways, this is an article from The Sun. Have you heard of the famous planetary element, the sun? Drove a lot of white men crazy early in time. I don't know why I specified white men. I don't know. I just feel like Plato and those guys were freaking out about it. How do we spin around it? Who cares? You're going to live till 30. You're dead soon. According to The Sun, a Coachella weekend is so expensive that more than half of attendees used a payment plan. Quote, if you can't afford to buy the tickets outright, the answer is that you shouldn't be attending festivals yet, one critic said. Wrong. Wrong. Already wrong. Everyone in America after 9/11 shaped their youth in debt. Fuck out of here. If you're saying shit like that, if you can't afford it, you shouldn't go. That's really cool. Your boomer parents left you a bunch of money to just kind of like, finger wag other people with. But the rest of us, we shaped our youth with debt. That is key to the American experience. You're not American if you don't owe something by 24. Like, what the fuck do you think we live in? A trade bartering lifetime? You utopian moron. I'm just here to make you feel better about making bad financial decisions because I've done plenty of it. And, assuming, because look, healthcare is good enough to keep us alive. They need us alive to keep working, right? They need someone to push the buttons and serve the food and do all of that. Because then, if not for that, then who will, right? What a smart sentence by me. So they'll keep us alive long enough to keep working. We know that. So you might as well be in debt. Honestly, this whole episode is probably a Zen exercise in who cares if you owe money? Just get comfortable with it. Get comfortable owing money because we're going to owe money for the rest of our lives. So what's a Coachella ticket on top of it? What is this Christian camp counselor thing? You shouldn't owe money. Whatever, dude. Whatever. Money's important. I mean, Judas took some. Sorry, I had to switch to an article by KTLA because the Sun is a corporate pig, a little piggy, a little disgusting corporate oink oink, and it wants money from me. The first weekend of the Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival is in the books. More than 60% of concert goers used an installment plan to break up the cost of the $649 general admission ticket into separate payments. To use the service, you pay about $50 up front to reserve your tickets and then pay it off over time. The service costs an additional $41. Now, here's something I'm interested in. Is there interest? Because if this is a non-interest thing, what a fantastic credit builder. The $650 bad ecstasy experience. For just $650, you can trip balls in a bad way with strangers. I've always been a little bit critical of festivals, not because, something bad happened to me there and I'm hiding it. I don't love music enough. I enjoy music. It makes me feel good, but I've never loved music enough to see the performer, coked the fuck out, drunk, whatever, I know some performers are good, but I'm not paying for $20 Aquafinas to get there. And I'm not talking about the rapper Aquafina. Anyways, over the past decade, the price to attend Coachella has soared almost 40%. In 2020, a general admission cost $429. And in 2015, it cost $375. And you know what's funny is as money has been printed and inflation has gone up, in my life, Coachella has always been expensive. I could never justify the cost personally. And largely because I didn't love music that much. But why I think this is interesting and important, and I'm trying to convince you very directly that you should be interested in this, and it's important, is not to demonstrate my fucking 5D chess big brain, but I'm speaking in jest, but a lot of what we do is done on debt. So much of what we do is done on debt. I think it just erodes continually at the purpose of money. It makes it hard to believe in what you're doing because everything feels like it's in perpetuity. Now, I'm not saying this again to add angst or to make you feel like, oh God, it's all caving in. No, it's just like the way we live in this country. So, I the more that everything becomes subscription based, because that's next, right? You're going to have your ambulance subscription, your local police subscription, your concert going subscription. Everything is just looking to needle a little bit of cash out of your wallet every month. Everything around us, that's all it's trying to do is needle a little bit of money out of your wallet. And I say all this to say, if you're in debt now, it's okay. It's okay. And if anything, you can bet that it's it's all going to have to fix itself. So, as best as you can, don't accumulate too much debt. But if you have some right now, don't feel crazy because we all have it. Everyone has it. Solvency is really difficult to achieve. It's like a unicorn because you're going to owe something, right? But I think something like Coachella being so, this like point of supposedly culture and the value of it is enough value that you would go into a minor debt for it. I mean, goddamn, A weekend at Coachella is $1,000. And on paper, that's like, whoa. But doesn't anything worth its salt at least pull $1,000 from you? You know, a PlayStation 5. What else costs $1,000 and is totally worth it? Magic the Gathering boxes. I will admit that I spent $1,000 on Magic the Gathering boxes. $1,300 actually. I spent a Coachella weekend's worth. And that is to say, and that's just gambling, right? That's another one. You want to have a decent time gambling? You need at least $1,000. I think that's the price of fun now, is $1,000. Unfortunately, or pool. Pool is always free. Pool is, cost of a beer. But we're not here to be humble today. We're here to encourage debt. Everyone wants to predict the future, right? Everyone wants to go, we're headed for weird times. And as someone who lived through the first housing crisis, a lot of these things feel very similar. So as someone who's gone through it, and honestly, my millennial friends that have spent their life paying off debt, they found their way. So, I say all this to say, throw that little $1,000 for Coachella on top of whatever you got going on, because who gives a shit? In the grand scheme, you owe on your car, you owe on this. I mean, what's a little $1,000 on top of that? You know what I'm saying? Just don't default, Just make sure you have enough to pay it off, which is the tricky part. If you're on a buy now, pay later plan, I'm curious what you have done buy now, pay later on. I'm not terribly supportive of using Klarna for DoorDash. I think there's better ways to waste your money, But if you're on a buy now, pay later plan, I do want to hear from you in the comments very directly about your experience, because I'm really curious. Anyways, moving on. I hope that segment was fun. Speaking of financing to support celebrity habit, because that's the one thing you always have to think about is you're doing all this for Coachella, and it's like, who are you supporting? Are you supporting, an up-and-coming artist who you feel deserves a piece of your debt? Or are you supporting Katy Perry to go to space? Everyone had a lot of fun with that. And if you're not familiar with this story, I'll just give you the top line on it. Blue Origin, which is not a space company launched by Blue Chew. Have a good huck to that one in the car. That's how you laugh to that one, huh? That's how you laugh to that one. I know you little fucking giggle puss. You liked that one. You're sitting there chuckling in your work truck right now. Your little nuts slapping between your fucking thin thighs. Body deteriorating because we don't have real food in America. Let me talk about that in a second. When I went to Australia, let me get on that. Hey everyone, we want to take a quick break to thank a sponsor of today's episode, Raycon. Oh, sorry, am I a bit loud? These are just so noise canceling. Mother's Day is right around the corner. My wife recently became a mother, and she's so excited to celebrate her first Mother's Day. She wants to do that by tuning me out. This year, you can treat mothers in your life to everyday earbuds by Raycon, because they deserve a moment to relax, recharge, and enjoy their favorite music and podcasts in crystal clear sound. Raycon's everyday earbuds are the perfect gift for your mom. Whether she's hitting the gym, busy with work, or just taking phone calls, their latest model is better than ever with a 32-hour battery life and multi-point connectivity that lets her pair her two devices at once. She'll never ask you for Bluetooth help again. Raycon's quick charge function takes just 10 minutes of charging to yield 90 minutes of battery. These earbuds also come with active noise cancellation, as I exhibited earlier, and they come in a ton of different vibrant colors. You know, my wife has the everyday earbuds by Raycon, and her favorite color is cobalt blue. These Raycon earbuds are great. Matter of fact, let me talk to your mom for a second. Hey mom, you're going to love these Raycon earbuds for the simple reason that they are the perfect balance of quality and simplicity, which you could use a little bit of balance in your life, right? Now back to your child. If your mom's not liking her Raycons, Raycon offers a 30-day happiness guarantee return policy. No questions asked. Go to buyraycon.com/lot to get 20% off site-wide. Right now, Raycon is offering up to 20% off the entire site. No, just kidding. It's a site-wide discount. Different than the whole site being 20% off. You can get 20% off anything you buy right now if you go to buyraycon.com/lot. Buyraycon.com/lot. Hey everyone, we want to take another quick break to thank a sponsor of today's episode, Truewerk. Truewerk is hell-bent on creating the most technical, high-performance workwear in the world. The Truewerk story begins in the Colorado mountains, where a trade worker knew there had to be a better solution than the wet, heavy gear that was weighing him down. Truewerk was born. How does Truewerk compare to other gear brands that you've worn? Well, we'll tell you. Namely, comfortability and warmth. You know how most work gear feels like it's working against you? Stiff, bulky, takes a few days just to break it in. Truewerk is the total opposite. From day one, Truewerk clothing feels broken in. It's soft, flexible, and moves with you, not against you. Whether you're out in the cold or putting in long hours, it keeps you warm without feeling like you're wearing body armor. It's basically workwear that doesn't make you dread putting it on. Every Truewerk product is engineered for maximum comfort, protection, and efficiency, with minimum bulk or extra weight. Denim and cotton canvas haven't changed much for over 200 years. Truewerk upgrades traditional classics by using the same fabrics worn by elite outdoor athletes. Soft, stretchy, sweat-wicking, soft-shell work pants are a major upgrade over wet, heavy jeans. Wind and waterproof shells use intelligently placed insulation for streamlined warmth that lets you stay mobile and agile. Truewerk has over 50,000 five-star reviews and countless stories from trade pros in every state and every job across the country. Upgrade to Truewerk for a major change in the way you work. Truewerk helps you be your best when your best matters most. Check out the full lineup and get 15% off your first order at truewerk.com/lot. That's 15% off at truewerk.com/lot. Blue Chew Origin launches an all-female celebrity crew with Katy Perry, Gayle King, and Lauren Sanchez. Before I go any further in this article, there is something unfortunate, okay? Now, I'm not a woman, right? But in my life experience, this is kind of what I have gathered, okay? And I don't mean to get all political science on you, but I think women have an unfortunate and unintended experience where women in groups of 4 or more just attract judgment. Women can't do anything in a group of 4 or more without garnering someone's irritation. And they don't have to do much. They can just exist. And someone looks at a group of 4 women and they just go, what now? And so this story, this was never going to be viewed in good faith, unfortunately. And really, it's just the girls going to space. God forbid the girls get a vibe and go to space. I think Alina was telling me about some tweet where it was like, someone was like imagining all the girl noises from the spaceship. What a perverse thing. Just getting all excited about girls giggling in a spaceship. Too horny, man. Anyways, Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin launched his fiancée Lauren Sanchez into space. Okay, now you got a timeout here. A billionaire launching his fiancée into space? And it didn't explode? He must really love her, dude. That sentence is so funny. Jeff Bezos launched his fiancée into space. He did it on Monday with an all-female celebrity crew that included Katy Perry and Gayle King. I'm going to be real right now. I don't know who the fuck Gayle King is. Let me look up Gayle King. Okay, I'm looking at her, and I still don't recognize Gayle King. I'm going to probably get crucified for this. Now, it's just because I have fish memory, you know. I know she does TV. I'm not completely clueless. Oh, yes, duh. How do I forget? Dude, this is the woman I would see when I was sick at home from school. I'd just be sitting there watching daytime Gayle King. And I'd be sick as hell eating saltine crackers going, oh, Gayle. Gayle, you're so funny. In the latest wave in space tourism, where more of the rich and famous than ever before, I like how space tourism implies that anyone can do it, when the only people we've seen do it are fucking William Shatner and then this all-celebrity crew of the gals. Do my eyes deceive me? Is that Courtney Cox? I don't know. I'll find out in a minute. In the latest wave of space tourism, where more of the rich and famous than ever before or lucky and well-connected can enter the zero-gravity realm traditionally dominated by professional astronauts, the New Shepard rocket blasted off on the quick up-and-down trip from West Texas. The fringes of space beckoned 66 miles up and provided a few precious minutes of weightlessness. Sanchez, a helicopter pilot and former TV journalist. She used to fly helicopters? Crazy. Flying a helicopter is, that's just Russian roulette. Anyways, Lauren Sanchez, along with, she invited others along for the 10-minute fully automated flight, packing on the star power with singer-songwriter Katy Perry. Now, I know what everyone thought. And it's unfortunate. Katy Perry, in recent years, everyone just seems to be very annoyed by her. They give her a lot of grief. And if there's one person to put on this flight that would make people go, oh, God, I think it was Katy Perry. Another tough part I was thinking about as a celebrity going into space, because when you're a celebrity, like big one, there's always a significant amount of people who hate you. And if I was on that level, going up into that, going up into the ozone layer, all I'd be thinking about are all the people who hope I don't come back. I just picture them like in their home praying, please don't let Noel come back down in that spaceship. Please let one of the panels release and let that spaceship fucking implode. Katy Perry was moved by the views of Earth below. Perry said she couldn't resist singing What a Wonderful World in Space. Now that is annoying. Holy shit. Oh, no. Oh. Oh, man. Hey, if you can sing, don't ever do it in public, unsolicited. If there's something I loathe, okay? And by the way, I had a deep discussion with someone about beatboxing. Because you guys know, beatboxing, for some reason, it just cringes me out. It just does. But if you can sing, don't. There's nothing that I think just... Ugh. And maybe it's because of all the years of abuse where my parents would take me for a birthday at Olive Garden. Yeah, if you ever had one of those where it's your birthday, and then the fucking the opera person comes by, and you got to sit there and endure that in front of everybody. That's what singing in public feels like to me. And I don't mean to be a miserable person. It's great that you're talented. Shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. Can you imagine going up in a private flight and just, what a wonderful world, in a closed space? And there's no gravity, so you can't even reach over and choke them out. You just gotta. I don't know. You guys let me know. Is that too am I being a Grinch? I feel like that would drive me nuts. You're in an enclosed capsule and someone feels so compelled to sing "What a Wonderful World." And it's Katy Perry, so you know she's doing it well. But it's like, okay, stop. I wouldn't do any of that. I would be sitting in that spaceship and she'd be singing that for whatever, and I'd just be looking out the corner of my eyes like hoping. You know. I'd probably press my face to the glass to de-cringe the situation. I just hats off to them for even doing this. I'd be scared shitless to do this. Okay, so there are a bunch of other people in this flight, and my eyes do deceive me. I do not see Courtney Cox on this list. So, a little bit let down by that. It's not about me. It's not about singing my songs, Perry said following the flight. It's about a collective energy in there. It's about us. Am I crazy? I don't want to be too mean, but you know what it is? It's like a very theater kid. That's, I think, what's bothering me about it. It's very theater kid to, be up there and, just doing the fucking Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Look at this space. Look at these things. Is that Ariel? I don't know. It's like, it's about our collective energy. No, it's not. It's about going up into space and praying to God this thing doesn't fucking explode. My husband's a billionaire and he sent me up here. We might die. We might die. Stop singing. This is what I wanted to get to. William Shatner went up there and he's got a hysterical quote about going up into space. And I need to read it. And I'm just going to use my William Shatner quote after Blue Origin flight. After his Blue Origin space flight, William Shatner famously expressed profound grief and sadness for the Earth, describing his experience as a, quote, funeral and a moment of overwhelming sadness. He also stated that he saw a cold, dark, black emptiness when looking at space, contrasting it with the vibrant beauty of the Earth. Yeah, he basically said that being up there just filled him with dread. I just think that's such a hilarious, and that might be because William Shatner's closer to dying. So, he's having these deeper thoughts about life and existence. But to contrast that with Katy Perry up there going... What a wonderful world. I want to interview Gail and ask her if she liked that. Gail, when you were up there, was the singing annoying? Be honest. Be real. And here I thought I wasn't going to be too mean to the gals, and here I go shitting on the vibe. But, it's just theater kid activities in public. I think it makes everyone go, enough. Like I saw a video the other day of a flash mob, and the comments on that were cracking me up. They're like, recession indicator. I think it's got that same vibe to me, flash mob. Yeah, Katy Perry was kissing the ground when she came back from the flight. She came out, I guess, pointing a crucifix to the sky, and now she's kissing the literal dirt of the earth. Man. You don't have to do all that, bro. Everybody hates her in the replies, dude. Everybody hates her, man. Me getting out of the Uber went into Tesla and I made it without yakking. You're just an alcoholic. That has nothing to do with this post. Oh, man. Oh, me getting out of an Uber when it's a black Nissan Altima. Yeah, man. I appreciate an Uber driver where, like, you know, interior panels are falling off. You know, you're going to get there fast as fuck. I don't drink, so it's never a problem for me. Olivia Munn chimed in on this. Ooh. She's shitting on the girl. See, look at this. More than 4 gals get together just kind of, you know, for a free trip to space, and already the hate. Hate from me, Olivia Munn, you know, we're all bagging on them. What's the point? Is it historic that you guys are going on a ride? I think it's a bit gluttonous. Space exploration was to further our knowledge and to help mankind. What are they going to do up there that has made it better for us down here? And to this, our capitalist instincts might say, bitch, how you going to hate outside the club? Bitch is gender neutral in that sentence. Here's a good clip. I want to see the girls just floating around in space.
1, 2, 3, take it up space! Tamir's in space!
I like how they cut the awkward after that woo. That deafening silence that shows the lack of friendship. Katy Perry holding a damn flower to the camera. This looks fun. Pants shitting fun.
Oh my god! That's our cute move. Okay. Now it's time to look at
I'm sorry. If I wasn't looking at this kind of sounds a little bit like porn.
Oh, the moon! You guys, I will have to tell you, look at the moon. That's amazing. Wow, look at the blue line.
Wow. The breathing, bro. Katy Perry's now upside down making hearts. All right, man. All right. Look. I think everyone is being mean to him because it's just showing off your money, right? People are just mad at it. Hello. Sorry, my accountant's texting me. How many millions of dollars would you like to invest in Blue Origin? All of it. My entire net worth. I think this stuff pisses people off because we didn't have to know. They could have just done it. But I get that it's a thing for Jeff to be like, you know, I can go to space too. I'm going to space as well. Elon's not the only one going to space. I just think it's funny because I don't know if the experience is any different than one of those airplanes, you know, that like YouTubers will pay to go in, and you can experience zero gravity for like 2 minutes. They're just doing it in this like really crazy looking pod. I'm not trusting anything that has to come back down with a parachute. Psycho. Absolutely insane. Totally risking their lives for 7 minutes of space. Which, you know, maybe that's the same thing as like smoking salvia. You know? You get 30 seconds of fun. Could be permanent. But motherfuck, that 30 seconds of fun is extremely unique. So, I understand wanting a thrill. And you know, if you're someone like Katy Perry, you've done a lot. You've performed in stadiums, you've performed at the Super Bowl. There's not much left that's exciting as a human being. So blowing up in space would probably be the coolest way to go. On Amazon's dime. So sorry, getting more text from my accountant. Noel, you are in massive debt and you don't have any money to invest in Blue Origin. Oh, my bad. My bad. Hey, the stock market came back. How about that? All that shit we were talking a couple weeks ago. Feels like years. You know, because the tariffs reversed. But who gives a shit about that when LA is home to Sperm Racing? Speaking of sending pods, speaking of firing pods out into the abyss, this shit is insane. Objectively insane. I could not wait to share this with you once it was put on the docket. By the way, can we just show the image that is at the top of this article? It's two TikTokers. By the way, some of you think I'm going bald because I'm doing my hair a certain way, and you're right. I'm going bald, and I really need you guys to support me in any way possible. Any way possible. Come to a show, listen to an ad read, support this on teamstudios.tv/company lot. Anything to help me get to Turkey. It's two TikTokers with with curls, and one of them going, LA's newest gambling event, live sperm racing. A fertility startup raised $1.5 million to stage the event at the Hollywood Palladium in Los Angeles this month. A new competition is heading for one of Los Angeles' most well-known arenas, complete with a live stream, stats, leaderboards, instant replays, and betting galore. Instant replays on cum? But you need a microscope to see the competitors. It would be cool if they all just had micro penises. I don't know why I said that. I have no idea why I said that. In the moment I thought I was being funny, but I had to take that 1 second. I have no clue why I said that. It might come as a little surprise to many. As a little surprise. I like what they're doing here. To many that the organizers of what is billed as the first competitive sperm race are teenagers. Does that make it illegal? Talk about, dude. All these kids were sitting there just watching a bunch of content about gooning, and they're like, they just saw that comment over and over. How can I bet on this? Can I bet on this? How can I bet on this? And they're like, goon bets. Sperm Racing. A startup called Sperm Racing, run by 4 teenage entrepreneurs from the U.S., said it had raised $1.5 million to stage the event at the Hollywood Palladium. Eric Zhu, the company's 17-year-old co-founder. Is this The Onion? He said the inaugural event would pit samples taken from 2 healthy young university students against each other on a racetrack, 20 centimeters, 8 inches long, and modeled on the female reproductive system. Zhu said the goal was to have fun while raising awareness about male fertility. We want to turn health into a competition, as we do in America. We make everything competitive. Turtles, tractors, anything with a ball. What is the cornhole? Bowling. Sperm is surprising as a biomarker. The healthier you are, the faster the sperm moves. Interesting. So maybe, if you're a chill weed smoker and you're not exercising, then that means your sperm is too chill. Maybe that's why you can't get your lady pregnant. Because your sperm's like, I'm going to get there when I get there, man. I'm just cruising, man, taking my time. 2 students from rival universities, the University of Southern California and the University of California, Los Angeles, were found to have, quote, matching biomarkers and selected to take part. So both their sperms are comparative speed? Interesting. Or maybe their matching biomarkers are like height, exercise regimen, et cetera, et cetera. Once the samples are taken, they'll be placed into a pipette and injected into a, quote, microfluid device in the center of the Palladium, a famed concert venue. A live video feed magnified 40 times to display the half, what was that, 0.05? That's not even, half of 0.05 millimeter spermatozoa. I always forget that's what it's called. Will track the sample's progress. Sperm typically swim at about 5 millimeters per minute. That is slow, dude. Meaning each race will take at least 40 minutes. Basically Formula One. Oh, dude. I'm looking at a sample screen of what it could be, boys, we might have some entertainment on our hands. This is this is like a one-way run through like the Nürburgring. If you're a car person, that was funny. Holy shit. This is like a Nürburgring of a track. Unfortunately, guys, I will be interested in this. Put the sample image on screen. If it's just this, it basically looks like Formula One cars with, it's like a track map of a race. Whichever crosses the finishing line first, as verified by advanced imaging, will be declared the winner. The event will be run over 3 races in front of a crowd of 4,000 spectators and feature play-by-play commentary, instant replays, and leaderboards, according to Zoo. Zoo said the startup has attracted interest and investment from at least one billionaire, Joe Lehman, the founder of Trilogy Software, along with prominent members of the biohacking community. Nucleus Genomics, a DNA testing company, is sponsoring the event, and spectators will be able to place bets on Polymarket. So unfortunately, I am interested in betting on this, and I do think I will watch this because I have a small brain, and anything with a start and a finish line unfortunately captures my attention. Hey guys, we want to take a quick break to thank a sponsor of today's episode, Goodr. Let's be honest. How many times have you bought a pair of sunglasses just to immediately scratch them, lose them, or accidentally sit on them? Yeah, we've all been there. That's why we love Goodr. These sunnies start at just $25 so you don't have to baby them. But don't let the price fool you. They're 100% polarized, super lightweight, and made for whatever you're up to. Running, hiking, pickleball, beach days, they've got a no-slip, no-bounce fit that stays locked in. It's like they were engineered to survive chaos. Plus, they come in styles for literally everyone. Want something bold and colorful? They've got you. Prefer something more low-key and classic? Also covered. This is one of my favorite styles here for the hot toddies. And that's guys named Todd. And the best part, they come with a 1-year warranty and a 30-day free return. So there's zero risk in giving them a try. If you need a new pair of sunnies, Goodr is giving Company Lot listeners free shipping. You can go to goodr.com/lot. Use code LOT for free shipping. Goodr offers a 30-day money-back guarantee and 100% satisfaction. Again, that's Goodr, GOODR.com/lot, and use code LOT for free shipping. Hey everyone, we want to take a final break to thank a sponsor of today's episode, DraftKings. The great rewards hunt is on, so join the adventure with DraftKings Casino. For fun seekers, follow the trail to huge jackpots, weekly bonuses, and exclusive games. Plus, new players can get their losses back up to $1,000 in casino credits on their first day. Just sign up with code COMPANY and start playing to get up to $1,000 in casino credits back with a minimum $5 net loss. Only on DraftKings Casino. The crown is yours. Got a gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 plus. Physically present in Connecticut, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only. Void in Ontario. Eligibility restrictions apply. New customers only. Loss back for 24 hours up to 1,000 in non-withdrawable casino credits that expire in 168 hours. Terms at casino.draftkings.com/promos. But look at this, guys. Billionaires have money to spend. They need to put it in places. Why not a sperm race? You know, out here in LA, there's a bar called Brennan's, I believe it is, and they do turtle races there. I never bothered to go watch one, but that's how pathetic we are. We abuse animals into races locally. We're taking this is a quote. We're taking a topic no one wants to touch and making it interesting, measurable, and weirdly changing this paradigm. Nah, you're just putting jizz in a pipe. That's what you're doing. But it is cool. It is changing a paradigm of entertainment. I'll say that. About 7% of adult men experience infertility, which causes include low sperm count, poor sperm mobility, and blockages. In approximately 50% of cases, The cause is unknown. Lifestyle factors such as smoking, alcohol, regular sleep patterns, and maintaining healthy weight are believed to affect fertility. According to a 2022 study published in the Human Reproduction Update journal, male sperm counts have declined by more than 50% in the past 5 decades. Not to be disgusting, but doesn't that make me a little special? You know? I'm in the top 93%. Male fertility is declining a lot. It's happening quietly, steadily, and nobody's really talking about it. And sperm motility, how fast your sperm moves. Sperm motility, how fast your sperm moves. You hear that, guys? These nuts got motion. You know what I mean? I made one. These nuts got motion. I got motilation. I got motility. It's a different type of motion. That's a life participating motion. That turns out to be a massive factor in fertility. So if your sperm doesn't have motion, you can't make kids. Bro got no motion. Damn. Bro cum got no motion. Bro, is your cum depressed because you got no motion? Zoo founded Sperm Racing with Nick Small. Well, this feels like an Onion article. I can't even believe this is real. And they have a former content strategist who used to work for the devil, aka Mr. Beast. This feels like a jizz ceremony. This is I'm suddenly very skeptical about this. This is so insane. I'm gonna bet on this. Speaking of billionaires and being in debt, I guess the Silicon Six, it's like Meta, Google, and all them. They've avoided almost $278 billion in U.S. corporate taxes over the last 10 years. So yeah. Buy that Coachella ticket. I'm not even really going to dive into that. I only bring that up to say buy that Coachella ticket. More on the, because we're at the end here. And on the last episode, I appreciate everyone who stayed for my, little rant about time. And I'm glad that that could find a positive moment in your day. It's good. It's good to feel like I can connect a little bit with you guys. I always get this feeling when I go to Europe. Basically, when you travel anywhere outside the U.S. and you eat food and you realize like it's more of it is real than fake. And that could just be one of those things that, has been propagandized into my brain. But I think it's safe to say that a lot of the food in America is fake or poison in some ways. Mostly because at night in foreign countries, I find that while you have fast food, there are more options for regular food. And I find myself more full in foreign countries because I think I have this personal conspiracy that in other countries, the food is not as fucked. The soil maybe is 10% better. I just feel the food maybe has a little bit more in the way of nutrients. So when you're eating it, you actually feel like you're full. You feel like you're getting something out of it. And you hear this thing about like Australians are so hot. Man, people in Australia are so fucking hot. And they're all, they're all good-looking people, but I just think it's because they get a decent amount of sun and they eat real food. It's like when they say, Europeans are attractive. Which is disgusting if you think that. No, just kidding. Yeah, it always I always take that back home with me because when I get home, I realize how readily available and in your face all this, all the fast food options are. And it's so aggressive. McDonald's, Jack in the Box, Burger King, Round Table Pizza. It's all just so in your face. and they want you to have that. But when you travel, I think there's just a little bit more in the way of homegrown and more mom and pop. And you have that still, like even in places like LA, you definitely have it, but it's tough to get to. It's hard to compete when you have all these big corporate fast food entities buying up all the retail space and getting the one of 50 locations of the drive-through in LA, in a city that's already busy. They really own the market share, and so it's a letdown sometimes when I get back to the city and I go, oh man, I know I'm going to give into fast food because there's more of it and it's more convenient. Actually, someone's smart. I would love you to just kind of use your special skills and do a little study for all of us. The average fast food establishment per square mile, is it higher than a mom and pop shop? Have I just trained myself to eat McDonald's? Is this a me problem or is it systemic? It's probably a me problem because that Shamrock Shake, holy shit. I wouldn't say I do bad things for a Shamrock Shake, but I cut a few corners. I might do a few naughty things for a Shamrock Shake. Someone goes shoplift upwards of $100 worth of items for a Shamrock Shake. I might do that. Find me $100 worth of shit in this Target and get it out of here, and I'll give you a Shamrock Shake. I might do that. Anyways, microplastics aren't everything. That's what made me think of this food. But there's a London startup that's offering to clean your blood of microplastics in a way. I'm phrasing that weird. But I want to read you this because it's relevant. Oh, and by the way, if I could just double back. The Silicon Six have avoided paying corporate tax by way of lobbying. Now remember, on an earlier episode, I talked about how Google, in its early days, Obama era, actually predating that, Google developed some pretty close, and these are not conspiracy, these are fairly proven, factual. Google developed some solid relationships with intelligence agencies early on because of the data that they were farming by way of just Google search. And when Google became very big and very, financially successful, they started to cozy up to the Obama administration. And they have over time cozied up to the government in general. And Google is on record put money into both left-wing and right-wing pockets of the political space to protect itself. Some people would say that they put money into left-wing spaces for lobbying reasons and potentially even public image. And then some people would say they've put, the reason that they've put money into right-wing spaces is lobbying and to kind of stand behind the free speech defense, because that's one that corporations like to use. This is a limitation of free speech and freedom. They kind of champion their work behind freedom, and they're like, this is the freedom of a free market, freedom of a capitalist entity, freedom of innovation. We are entitled in ways to take your data indiscriminately for innovation for the betterment of mankind. We need to know everything you're doing for the betterment of mankind. That's an oversimplification, but you get what I'm saying. So, they've avoided corporate tax by way of lobbying. And, I took it very personally when someone called me a conspiracy theorist, because these ideas were not even from my personally smart brain. Okay? Because I don't have a smart brain. I read and spit back out like the rest of us, I'm a human like all of you. I'm just a diarrhea pit of publicly available information. One day we will get the source of these ideas. Shoshana Zuboff, the art. And it's funny, a handful of you have come out to shows and stuff, and you have a copy of her book, Surveillance Capitalism. And you're like, I bought mine. And I like how I'm spreading this like a cult. It's a fun read. It's a dense read, but it's fun. Anyways, this London startup says it can clean your blood of microplastics. The elective medical industry is cashing in on plastic pollution fears, but the evidence of harm from microplastics is still deeply uncertain. This is a non-exhaustive list of places microplastics have been found. Mount Everest, the Mariana Trench. Well, who's going in there? Who the fuck cares about the Mariana Trench? Antarctic snow, clouds, plankton, turtles, whales, cattle, birds, tap water, beer, salt, human placentas. Who's testing that? Oh, I never even thought about fucking sitting on a dildo. Never even considered that shit leaving traces in you. Holy. No pun intended. Semen, breast milk, feces, testicles, livers, brains, arteries, and blood. The author writes, my blood specifically. In early March, I milked a few drops out of my fingertips and sent the sample to be tested for microplastics. I was in the London office of Clarify Clinics, a firm that offers to cleanse your blood of microplastics, forever chemicals, and other toxins, in treatments that start at $12,000. Cool. Each week, around 10 to 15 people walk into the basement clinic just off Harley Street, a road famed for its private clinics and wealthy clientele. After a consultation, the patients settle down in an armchair for the treatment. Blood is drawn from a cannula into what does that sound delicious? Into a machine that separates out the plasma from blood cells. The plasma is filtered through a column that is supposed to trap microplastics and other undesirable chemicals before being mixed back with the blood cells and pumped back into the patients. All in all, the process runs for up to 2 hours, enough time to process 50 to 80% of the blood plasma volume. Once it's running, you feel nothing. It's very comfortable, says the CEO, Yale Cohen. Patients take calls, do Zooms, watch movies, sleep. The ones who sleep are my favorite. They come... Why? I like to watch them breathing. They come for all kinds of reasons, Cohen says. Some are suffering with chronic fatigue, others with brain fog or long COVID. The clinic also runs treatments marketed towards people on Ozempic-style weight loss drugs looking to conceive or ward off dementia. What Clarify sells them is the hope of easing their symptoms by ridding their blood of microplastics and other potential contaminants, such as PFAs, chemicals, per and Paul. I'm not even going to say that. It doesn't matter. So yeah, yada yada. This is fun because this is the new Ozempic. Okay, another trend. Because now you're going to have celebrities skinny, microplastic free. Oh my God. That's going to be a way for them to differentiate us, won't it? The microplastic free, the pure, the plastic pure. The PPs. I wonder if it works. Should we find out, guys? Should we sponsor someone from the comments to do it? See if they feel any different. Doesn't matter because in America you're just going to reaccumulate it, right? How often you got to be doing this to stay plastic pure? I think that'd be the big question I'd have. It's probably answered at the bottom of the article. Doesn't matter. We're not going to find out. It's just going to stay down there with a bunch of information that we'll never read. We'll never care about because I'm not reading it and you're not reading it. By choice. By choice. It is interesting that now what the future is going to be is a litany of services because now we all are aware of how poisoned we are. I wonder if over time this just like changes our ability to view ourselves in good faith. You know, maybe no one thinks about this. I think about this. I look in the mirror and I'm like, God, I'm probably just full of like shit. Not from a spiritual or intelligence perspective, because I know that, but I mean like my body. I look at my body and I'm like, there's probably so much bad stuff in there. And I feel like I can feel my heart slowing down when I eat certain food. I feel like I count the BPMs. I'm like, I know it's going slower. I know it's taking longer for it to get the. I just know it. Every time I eat beef, I count it. I feel like I lose an hour of life. And you know, a lot of you have heard my heart medication jokes, and I'm on it. I'm fully on it. I have acquired plaque in one of my arteries this young enough that a doctor was like, "Hey, buddy, we should start a plan." And heart disease does run in my family. Little fun fact about me that you can't find out in the 23andMe data leak. That's just from me to you. And that's the little reward you get for listening to the end of the episode. But yeah, I'm on it because I have a rare, not rare, but a burgeoning, a very cool and on the rise hip blood condition where my blood platelets are stickier than others. I got that sticky icky in my blood. That's why I'm so chill. That's why I'm so lax and such a vibe. Because I am genetically that sticky icky. Which is attractive to plaque and cholesterol, which makes life exciting. It does. It makes burgers like, is this the one? Will this cheeseburger make my left arm hurt? That's the game I play every day. So, you know, being alive is a risk. Enjoyment is a risk for me. But sometimes I also question if I never knew, would I make it to at least 60 and drop dead? And that'd be a pretty good run, you know, no medicine. You always have to wonder a little bit, like with microplastics and stuff. I mean, it's probably bad, but will we notice, you know? Probably. I think it's a bit optimistic to think it's not going to affect us. Like all the years where people had beautiful breakfasts on Teflon plates, you know, and that turned out not for the better. What a depressing way to end the episode. Well, see you guys on the next video. Goodbye.